Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm excited to talk to you. As you know,
I'm excited to talk to you
yes,
and to the fans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dara. I'm the associate web editor at cosmopolitan.com, and I'm here with Tony Goldwyn, who is arguably the sexiest president on TV, and
The
and
only president on TV at the
the
moment.
only president on TV right now. Yeah. But we are excited, and let's get started. Um, so. Um, so you directed this episode, right? How was that
I
experience?
did, yeah. Tonight's episode,
Mhm.
it was awesome. It was, I've directed a lot of different things. I've directed a lot of, a lot of television and movies, but directing my Scandal castmates was just so
Mhm.
much fun. To already be part of a family and just kind of switch chairs.
Yeah.
And after all the teasing subsided, it was pretty amazing creative experience.
Do you plan on directing more episodes?
That's up to Shonda. Depends how tonight's episode goes. We'll see. Either way is great. It was really fun, and I'm guessing I probably will next season. Let's hope there is a next season. I think I'm optimistic, but hasn't been announced yet. So
Okay. So, how do you feel about all the obsession that women are having over you? Is it overwhelming? Do you enjoy it?
uh, at times it's a little overwhelming,
Hmm.
but yeah, I enjoy it. I'm thrilled. I'm grateful. Honestly, it's great. It's just great. Honestly, I feel that so much of it has to do with Shonda Rhimes and the incredible character that she wrote for me and fits. Um, but I'll take it in whatever form it comes.
All right. Okay, so we're going to get into some fan questions, and I'm going to put this one on screen. And this is one I'm also wondering about. So, when you are drunk fits, what exactly is in that cup? What are you actually drinking? Is it actually
Oh, giving away the trade secrets. Okay, well, our brilliant prop department, George and Jeff and George, we have two Georges, I'm going to say it now, you've heard it, no one's ever heard of this before, but iced tea
iced
is what I
tea?
drink.
Nice.
It looks like scotch. I do not drink scotch. I think there was a tweet, someone had asked me during a live tweet, and I had jokingly said bourbon. And all these people said, don't you get drunk when you drink too much of that? Like, you drink a lot. So, I actually had a funny experience. An actor once, when I was directing a movie, said to me, he had to be drinking bourbon in a scene. And he said, look, I just want a little bit. Just give me a little bit, just so I can sort of get the feel. I was like, I'm not giving you, I'm not going to give you actual. He said, come on. So he said, just a taste. So I said, all right, fine. Give him, a little bit. And he
Yeah.
ended up, because I was busy, he ended up getting the prop guys to keep refilling his glass, and he got absolutely hammered in the scene. I was like, note to self, never do that again.
Yeah. Stick to iced tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Um, okay, so are you? Here's another great question. You used to not like Twitter? How are you enjoying it now with the live tweeting and the gladiators?
Oh my God, I am a convert. I swear to God. First of all, I was like, what's the way to put it? You had me at the first tweet, I guess I could say. The first live broadcast or tweetcast we did,
Hmm.
I just couldn't believe the ability to interact directly and personally with fans.
Hmm.
It was it was great and so much fun, And once I was just scared of it, frankly.
Yeah.
And then, but also since then, in the past year and a half or whatever it's been, I've realized the power of Twitter, and
Hmm.
Twitter is, I believe, it's one of the main reasons why Scandal has become a hit.
Yes. Yes.
It's our incredible gladiators out there, who I know some of you are listening now, and you guys are just amazing. And what's happened in the world is, we used to just be one voice, but now that voice is amplified, thousands by
Hmm.
multiplier of thousands and thousands.
Hmm.
So, that extends to shows like Scandal. It extends to charity. It extends to, social issues and politics. And and everything. So we really have this tremendous power at our fingertips and this ability to communicate to each other about what we're passionate about. So Scandalous is now on that list at 10 o'clock on Thursday nights.
Yes. As a fan myself, it's like you can't miss 10 o'clock Twitter because it's like you need to be in the conversation with everyone, live tweeting with you guys and fans.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's such an experience. And I don't think there's been a show in that long, at least since I've been watching TV, that's like, you're like, I need to watch it live. I can't.
No, you know, it's funny. Shonda said this the other night. We were having a conversation, and she said that it used to be, you know, appointment television, where because you know there wasn't. I guess there was, you know, before the days of Netflix and streaming video, and certainly before the days of a DVR. 10 o'clock on Thursday night was a big event, and everyone talked about it the next day of what was on whatever the show was, you know, at 10 o'clock on Thursday nights, whether it was ER or, you know, shows even before that. And now that's not the case. And so the fact what the live tweeting has done is it's made it an event that you want to be a part of in real time to see what happens on Scandal. And that's a great thing. It's a great, you know, it makes it a lot of fun for the viewers, and it's a great thing for us creators as well.
Mm-hmm. And also, we love your co-star, Kerry Washington, obviously.
Well,
and,
me too.
Yeah. I actually have my Olivia Pope white on today.
You're looking good. You are rocking the OP white.
Yeah, right. Yes. And one more question before we bring on one of our super fans who we love and you love as well. How often do you experience chemistry like you do with Carrie with other artists, actors?
It's rare. It's rare. I mean, you know, I have an extraordinary kind of chemistry with Carrie, but that said, I do have it with the other people in this show as well. It's not a sexual relationship, you know, but as an actors, I mean, I have an amazing chemistry with Jeff Perry, with Bellamy Young, you know, who obviously those three are the ones that I'm mostly working with, but we just have this, we just connect, you know, and Carrie and I connect as actors and on some other level that I don't know what to say about.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we're going ready to queue up Tangela.
Okay.
Our favorite.
Tangela.
Tangela, girl.
Tangela, what's up?
Hello.
I'm so happy to talk to you.
It's so nice to talk to you. Thank you for my video last week. I'm still as high as a crackhead on food stamp day from it.
Oh, man. That was so much fun to do. And, you know, the president does have his own fainting couch, so I had to use it.
Woo!
But, you know, Tangela, we just, like I said in that video, we watch you every week, and I just think you're brilliant and funny and so smart and, you know, incisive in your comments and your sense of humor about the show and about yourself and about the fandom. I don't know, you're amazing. So you're like total evidence of the power of what's happening in social media today.
Oh, well, thank you, Tony. I love you, and you already know that. But here's my question. As a performer, you said that the Goldwyn name has kind of been a double-edged sword. What advice would you give a performer who has no name and no connections?
Well, look, it's been a double-edged sword for me being from a movie family, but at the same time, look, I had tremendous advantages because I had some sort of access into the business, and I had people I could go to and talk to. So while doors didn't swing open, and sometimes I actually lost jobs because, you know, because of people's preconceptions about me early on in the early days, you know, I had it easier than most people. So what I would say to people that have no connections is follow your passion, man. You know, if you do two things, work as hard as you possibly can toward the thing that you love, whatever that is, because it's really hard for everyone, but the biggest effort should be into the work and in developing yourself as an artist. You know, I'm thinking of a story about like Aaron Paul, you know, who's on Breaking Bad, who's so amazing. Aaron was telling me we did a movie together a few years ago called Last House on the Left, and Aaron, you know, had only gotten started a few years before, and Aaron was from, I think South Dakota. I forget what state he was from, so correct me if I'm wrong about that. But Aaron basically got in a car with a dream, drove to LA with something like $200 in his pocket, and just hit it. And he just worked his butt off. And when you meet that guy, the thing that strikes you about him is his intense passion for what he does. And it hasn't diminished at all in his success. You know, he's won I don't know how many Emmy Awards now for that show. But he's someone who's like an inspiration to me in that way and reminds me. So anybody can make their dreams come true, but you gotta just go after it and tell people about it and talk about it and challenge yourself not to just want to get famous. It's not about that. That won't sustain you. That will not sustain you. That will kill you. But if you really love the work, you know, having talent is only the first little percentage of it. You know, what is it? They say 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. And if you're willing to perspire enough, you know, you can get after it.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Such great advice. All right, we're going to have another question from a fan. Now, in the last episode, we saw Melly basically was like, I'm leaving you. And Fitz was also kind of like, I'm ready to be with you. I'm worth a second chance. I demand a second chance, which, in my opinion, he doesn't. But if like everything were to work out and, you know, Fitz got his divorce and like Olivia and him could finally be in public, where would their first date be? Gettysburg, perhaps?
Where would their first date be? Wow. God, see, it's also hard because I'm the president, so anywhere I go, I'm found out. I'd want to take her somewhere where nobody would see us or know us, or, you know, some island or something like that. Or, yeah, some place where there would be nobody around but us. So Fitz would probably set up some pretty fabulous, desert hideaway. Yeah.
And they can
without any apparatus.
Yeah. And they can have more than 1 minute.
Yes, many more than 1 minute. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I think we're gonna bring up another video fan.
Alrighty.
Is that what we're doing, guys? I think so. Yep. It's gonna be DKNY PR girl.
Hi, how are you?
Can't hear her.
Can't hear you, sorry.
Yeah, I can hear her.
I don't know sign language either, sorry.
Okay.
You can maybe write it out, you know, like in a marker.
All right.
You can
we'll try and get her again because I'm sure her question is absolutely amazing. She's another super fan. She does great.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, what other questions do we have from our fans? Oh, someone wants to know, will you sing for us? Do you sing?
Will I sing for you now?
Does Tony Goldwyn sing?
Tony Goldwyn does sing. I did, you know, I always sang in the shower and I always liked to sing, but I actually did a Broadway musical right before we started Scandal, where I actually had to really sing. And found out that I could, and it was amazing. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we need to find out what the request is. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So we have another question. So how do you think President Fitz is going to deal with Melly? Because, you know, she says she's about to blow the lid on everything.
Yeah, Melly's a problem. She's a problem. How is Fitz going to deal with her? Look. All right. So here's what I can tell you. Fitz is done. He's not playing around anymore. I mean, this idea of living a lie, living this pretend manipulative political existence is just, it's got to stop. I think that Fitz has become someone unrecognizable to himself. As Melly pointed out so eloquently a couple of weeks ago, when she busted him on being a drunk. And she said, "You have changed. It's you." And she was absolutely right, and that was a wake-up call for Fitz. So when we did that interview where we were pretending to be the perfect couple and telling the story of how we met, and I sat down and I said to Melly, can we talk about the truth for a second? About how we actually met and what that really was? And, aren't you done? Aren't you sick of pretending? Doesn't it cost you something? And when Melly said, "Honey, marriage is pretty much all pretend, and anyone who thinks it's not is just a fool," that was a light bulb went off for Fitz. And I think that he thought about, he went and confessed to Cyrus that he had killed Verna. And he showed up at Olivia's hospital room. And as we saw last week, he declared he threw down for Olivia, and she slammed the door in my face. But that's not going to stop me. So I guess the answer to the question is, I feel like Fitz has made a commitment to stop pretending. And he's willing to take responsibility for the truth.
Yes.
That's right, because it's gotten him that murder, killing Verna and Defiance and all the terrible things. In many ways, he's gone off the rails in terms of the man he wanted to become.
Yes. I love that Fitz is going to finally take responsibility for things. Because for a while, I would say a lot of fans felt like he was just playing the big baby. He was being drunk and being like, "You hurt me," blah, blah, blah.
It's true, he was being a victim.
Yeah, he was playing
Absolutely.
a victim.
I'll tell you, that's something that I love so much about what Shonda is doing in this show. She doesn't, need to make us likable all the time. She, all of us do, and Carrie included, Olivia Pope included, we all go through periods. She pushes the audience's patience.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people, I was getting impatient with Fitz, but it made Fitz human. So then at a certain point, the woman least likely to support him, you would think, his Melly, is the one who slapped him in the head and said, "Wake up, dude, you need to grow up." And so I just love that Shonda does that for us. That never happens, where a writer will, everyone's so worried, like, well, yeah, he's kind of bad, but he's really a great guy. He really loves Olivia. I treated Olivia horribly, almost unforgivably. And for some people, perhaps unforgivably. I don't know, but that I think is what's so cool about this show.
Yeah, so real. If I was Olivia, I wouldn't forgive you, but just,
Yes,
all right,
you would.
I know I would. I would forgive you. So we're gonna bring up a video with another fan, Scandalo Obsessed.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
Great, I'm a big fan. I love all your work, especially Fitz. My question is, can you tell us about any funny behind-the-scenes moments that have happened when filming with Carrie?
Yeah, funny behind-the-scenes moment. Oh gosh, I'm so bad at coming up with these like instantaneous things, but it's a great question, and Carrie is always hilarious. So here's what I'll tell you. In this episode tonight, okay, so the one thing I hadn't, I've never been really in Olivia Pope and Associates. I mean, except to walk through the set, and I love all those guys so much. So the thing I was most excited about in directing tonight's episode was that I get to work with Columbus and Guillermo and Darby and Josh and everybody over there, and Katie, obviously. So the first day we're shooting in Olivia Pope and Associates, Carrie wasn't working. And working with those guys at OPA is like being in junior high school. Like, they are out of control. They're always goofing around. They're always talking. They're always laughing. And I was kind of shocked, because at the White House, we have a good time and we laugh and stuff, but it's kind of where the grown-ups work. And OPA is like the kids. So I thought, these guys are out of control. Little did I know, the next day when Carrie showed up, it got 10 times worse. Like you'd think that, well, she's Olivia Pope. When Carrie gets here, she's going to straighten them out, and like they're going to behave themselves. It got completely out of control when Carrie was there. It was like I felt like I was back in 8th grade, except this time I was the teacher. And yes, once one of our producers said to me, he said, "Don't worry about it. Just yell action really loud, and they'll get to work." So, because normally you're like, okay, quiet down, everyone. We're ready to go. Everyone settle down. Everyone focus, and the whole place quiets down, and then everyone does their work. But that's not happening at OPA. So there's just a hubbub like you're in the cafeteria in high school, and I just would say, action! Really loud, and then they'd snap to it, and because they're all brilliant at what they do, they'd be right into it. The only problem actually was on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock when we aired, because it was this all the time. Action! Yeah, just 1 minute. I'm live tweeting. So, and Carrie was the ringleader, so she was a naughty girl. She's worth it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. One more screen question, and then we'll have another fan come on screen. Let's see. So we know that we're still kind of in the dark about Jake, what his motives are, who he really is. We know he works for Fitz. So, and we know Olivia.
I think he works. He works for Fitz, but then
he works
Rowan
for
guy.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously, there's going to be. Hopefully, there'll be a point where everything is revealed. So, how do you think Fitz will react once he knows that?
I hope so. I don't know. It's going to be bad for Fitz.
When he realizes that they slept
finds
together.
Out. Yeah, man, because he's just hanging it out there now with Olivia. And, Fitz had put Olivia on such a pedestal that when he found out about Defiance and felt, obviously, in the moment that, he killed Verna and all this horrible stuff that he did, it largely was driven by the fact that one person in the world he could trust had betrayed him and was not trustworthy, not who he thought she was. So over the months, Jake has come into play as someone who Fitz really believes he can trust, given their military history together, and he's got something inside. So right at this moment, as Fitz is putting his heart out there for Olivia and declaring for her, if he were to find out that she'd been sleeping with Jake and that Jake had betrayed him, forget the jealousy, which obviously would be terrible, and the hurt, but that trust thing is, Fitz is, I think, probably in a pretty fragile place in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
It ain't gonna be pretty.
No, it's not gonna be pretty, and I can't wait to watch. Watch it happen.
Welcome to Scandal. Yeah.
We're gonna have a video question in a bit.
Okay.
Hey, Tony, what's happening?
Oh, hey, man, how are ya?
Roland Martin, haven't seen you since the image.
Roland, yeah, no, it's good to see you, Roland.
Likewise. So I had to rock my Houston Rockets after we beat the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, so I got to show hometown.
Sweet, congratulations.
Absolutely. So, there's lots of questions. So my question is real simple. Look, I've been covering politics for years. So how is it to portray a character who's supposed to be the most powerful man in the world as the commander-in-chief, but this man cannot control the two women in his life? And so you got the wife on one hand, the mistress on the other. And so how do you as an actor go back and forth when you're supposed to be Mr. in control, but you're Mr. out of control?
Isn't that just like life? First of all, just before I answer your question, Ron, I just want to thank you for being such an incredible supporter of our show. You have so much reach and influence with your fan base and your audience, and you've been amazing. So at Scandal, we're all, Carrie's talked about it a lot, and everyone's just really grateful to you. So that's first of all. I just love, your question's so great. It's one of the most fun things about playing this character, because I think one of the things that's most important if Fitz is going to connect with an audience is that he seemed like a man who is good at what he does and is on top of his business, because his personal life is such a disaster. And he's a guy who is used to being in control and is used to being, most of the people in his life just say yes, sir, and he's the decider, to coin George Bush's phrase. But not where Melly and Olivia are concerned. He keeps trying, and these women just, yank his chain, and it just makes it really fun. If he were a weak guy, it wouldn't be interesting. So the fact that he's such a powerful and intelligent and formidable guy, and yet he just can't. These women are for real, because whatever you think of any of us, whatever people love and love to hate Melly, she's an impressive lady, and she's smart, and she's not to be messed with. And every time Fitz thinks he's nailed her down, she comes back. And Olivia's the same way, Fitz does have the ability sometimes, often really, to kind of put them in their place or trump them, but every time they turn the tables on him.
It also shows in relationships that frankly is how it goes. That sometimes you think you're in control when stuff is out of your control, and you just gotta just go with it.
You're so right, man, and that's what, again, I said, it's what I love about it, and what's so lifelike, because that's the thing about Scandal. In one sense, it's this heightened reality that's so far removed from any of our lives, and yet what Shonda's doing is dramatizing situations that are exactly, they're like an exaggerated version of what we all go through, and that's what makes it fun, because that thing of thinking we need to be in control, thinking we know what's supposed to happen, and life always, has news for you when you think that. And look, it happens to Olivia, to Carrie's character, all the time.
Absolutely.
She's the one who's in control all the time, and boy, does that get her into trouble.
Well, I love the show, and again, I love creating my playlist whenever something goes awry. So my followers love the songs for Fitz or Olivia. So it's always a good time.
Oh, thanks, Roland. All right, man.
You take care.
Yeah, great talking to you. Okay, bye.
Right. Lovely question. So we're going to try and put DKNY PR girl on again. And hopefully we can hear her. Can we hear her? No.
Oh no, we still can't hear you.
Let me find out if I can
Okay,
find
try
what the
something
question
else.
is so I can read it.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Oh, that's good. What is
Wait.
it?
Turn on Fitz justify swapping. Wait, can you read it, John?
Can't read it.
Fatherhood for a chance at love. If so, won't the fallout? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Can Fitz justify swapping out fatherhood for a chance at love? If so, won't the fallout burn them alive? Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold that thought. I don't think Fitz sees it as swapping out fatherhood at all. I think that Fitz has said many times, as he said to Melly when she said she was walking out, he said, "You're not taking my child." And earlier when he was talking about divorce, he said, "We're going to work it out." Now Fitz fell down on his fatherly duties when he was drinking too much, and I think he acknowledged that, and he behaved badly and was not, look, I'm a father, and I've never been in Fitz's situation, but, you mess up as a parent. But I think being a good father is so important to Fitz. So being with Olivia and being a father are not mutually exclusive.
Do you see that? But
Melly is a nightmare. Oh,
yes.
No, that's true. But a lot of people's exes are nightmares, and a lot of people's present spouses are nightmares, men and women included. Yeah, Melly will be a nightmare. She will. You can be that. You can be sure of anything in Scandal. You can be sure that Melly will remain Fitz's nightmare. I love you, Bellamy, if you're watching. But so she'll make it tough. Yeah, she would make it tough. But anyway, I think Fitz, and I think Olivia would be an amazing stepmother to those kids. So
yes, I think so, and they would look fabulous. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is a wrap. It was so good talking to you. I can't wait to watch tonight's episode. Everyone tune in tonight on ABC at 10 Eastern Standard Time.
And we'll all be live tweeting. I'm only going to live tweet East Coast because I'm on the East Coast and the boy needs his BBC. Everyone else will be on the West Coast tweeting.
Yeah, and everyone follow ABC on Spreecast to get notifications for the next Spreecast and to know first who will be joining from the cast. Yes. All right. Bye, Tony.
All right. Bye, Dora. Thanks. Take care.